also still adding IndiaMART lead details manually into your Salesforce account, then this video is definitely for you. So hello all, welcome back to Pabbly Connect, and in this video we are going to understand how to add IndiaMART leads and inquiries to Salesforce for advertising agency. So over here I'm running an advertising agency and we also use IndiaMART to gather the details of our potential clients. So now what I want is that as soon as we receive the details of our potential clients or the leads through IndiaMART, automatically that same lead details should be added into my Salesforce account too, so that my sales team can follow up quickly and efficiently. So to do this, we are simply going to create a connection between IndiaMART and Salesforce. To create this connection without knowing any programming or coding language, we are going to use Pabbly Connect. It is an amazing automation software. So do you also want to create this automation for your business and convert your potential clients into your paying clients? Then for that you have to come with me towards my screen.
Welcome to my screen. So in this video, I'll show you how to automatically add IndiaMART leads or inquiries to Salesforce for an advertising agency. So with this automation, every new lead from IndiaMART will be captured in Salesforce as a lead or a contact, ensuring efficient follow-ups and better conversion tracking. So stay tuned as I walk you through the setup step by step. So to get started, I've simply opened the landing page of Pabbly by searching pabbly.com/connect in my browser. It is very easy, and as soon as we are going to open the landing page of Pabbly, we are going to get two options. One is sign in and the another one is sign up for free. So if you are a new user, you can click on this sign up for free and you are going to get 100 of tasks free every month to explore the application. But over here, I'm an existing user, so I'm just going to click on this sign in. And as soon as we're going to click on this sign in, it is opening all Pabbly apps. And over here, you can see all the tools and applications offered by Pabbly. But in today's video, we are going to use Pabbly Connect because we are connecting different applications, which is IndiaMART and Salesforce. So I'm just going to click on this access now right over here to access my Pabbly Connects account. And as soon as we're going to click on this access now, it is opening my dashboard. And over here, in order to start with our automation, we have to click on this button which says create workflow. And now it is asking me for the workflow name and the folder I want to save the workflow in. So over here on my dashboard, you can see multiple folders which I've already created in which I save my workflows. And if you want to learn how to create a new folder or a subfolder, you can click on this hyperlink given right over here which says learn more. Over here in this video, I want to save my workflow in this folder which says automations. So I'm just going to select it as automations. And now for the workflow name, I want the workflow name to be how to add IndiaMART leads and inquiries to Salesforce for advertising agency. And then we simply have to click on this create. And as soon as we're going to click on this create, it is opening the most important window of our automation, which is our workflow window. So this is the most important window because we have triggered an action in this. So trigger and actions are the two main principles on which our workflow will run. All right, trigger means when this happens and action means do this. So by this you can understand that the actions are response towards the commands given by our trigger, and that's the particular reason that we can have only a single trigger but multiple actions following the commands of our trigger in a particular workflow. Alright, so to start with our automation, we have to select our trigger application. So for my trigger application, I'm just going to select it as IndiaMART because what I want is that as soon as a new lead is received through IndiaMART, automatically this workflow should get triggered or Pabbly should capture the response for the same. So for my trigger application, I've simply selected it as IndiaMART. And now for the trigger event, I'm just going to select it as new leads. And now as soon as we're going to select the trigger application and the event, it is giving me a webhook URL. So we're going to use the same webhook URL in order to create a connection between our IndiaMART account and our Pabbly Connects workflow. So what we have to do is we simply have to copy this webhook URL and then we have to follow this help text, and it is saying log into your IndiaMART account, navigate to the lead manager section in the left tab, go to import export leads from the three dots and then click on I am leads push API. Choose other in the select source option and then enter Pabbly Connect in the CRM platform name. Alright, we're going to follow the same. I'm just going to open my IndiaMART account, and after coming over here towards my dashboard, we have to go towards the left side of the bar, then we have to go towards this lead manager section from our IndiaMART account. Now after coming over here towards the lead manager, we have to go towards the three dots and then import export leads and then push API. And yes, you can see that now after opening this push API integration, it is asking me to select the source and the CRM platform name. So it has clearly mentioned in the help text of my Pabbly Connect's workflow that choose other in the select source option and then enter Pabbly Connect in the CRM platform name. So we are just going to follow the same for the source. I'm just going to select it as other. And now for the CRM platform name, I'm just going to select it as Pabbly Connect. And now it is asking me for the webhook listener URLs. We are simply going to paste the URL which we copied from our workflow and click on this save details. And as soon as we're going to click on this save details, it is asking me for the reason. So I'm just going to select my reason as this, which is I feel that I can permanently save the leads from IndiaMART and view later. And then we simply have to click on this click to generate OTP button. And yes, now it is saying that it has successfully sent me an OTP. So I'm just going to enter the OTP right over here. Alright, so I'm just going to enter the OTP right over here, and after entering this OTP, we simply have to click on this submit. And yes, you can see integration live. So yes, with this, we have successfully created a connection between our IndiaMART account and our Pabbly Connects workflow. But now it is saying waiting for a webhook response, alright. And yes, with this, we have successfully received this, which is integration live. So yes, with this, we have successfully added our webhook URL in our IndiaMART account. And yes, with this, we have successfully created a connection between our IndiaMART account and our Pabbly Connects workflow. You can see that now it is saying waiting for a webhook response. And in the notes, it is saying do a test submission / record. So in order to capture this webhook response, we have to do a test submission or record. Alright. So what we have to do is, I'm just going to put my CRM push API once again. And as you can see the blue button of test your webhook listener URL. So we have to go towards this blue button and then towards this green button which says test. So over here, I'm just going to test this webhook listener URL. And yes, you can see that we have received this curl request header. This means that we have successfully did the test submission and IndiaMART has sent the details of our test submission to our workflow. So I'm just going to open my workflow, and yes, over here you can see that Pabbly has captured the response. You can see all the details captured by Pabbly Connect. You can see the sender's mobile number, sender's alternative mobile number, you can see the sender's name, sender's phone number, sender's pin code, you can see the state, you can see the unique query ID and the status. You can also see the subject right over here, but you must be noticing that this subject doesn't aligns with our business, or you can say our agency, which is advertising agency, right? So what happens is that I'm using a test IndiaMART account, so I receive the default details every time I do a test submission. But if you're using a live IndiaMART account, you're definitely going to receive the webhook response related to your services only. All right, so as you can see, I'm just going to show you all the details received. You can see the query message and the another details too. So yes, with this, we have successfully completed our trigger step. And now what will happen is that as soon as a new lead is received through my IndiaMART account, automatically this workflow is going to get triggered and Pabbly is going to capture the response for the same. Alright, we're going to move on forward towards our action step. So what I want is, I want to add IndiaMART leads and inquiries to Salesforce. Alright, so for my action application, I'm just going to select it as Salesforce. So I'm just going to search for Salesforce right over here, and as you can see the same, so we are simply going to select it. And now for the action event, we are just going to select it as create lead and click on this connect. And now it is asking me to add a new connection or select an existing connection. So if you have already connected your Salesforce account with your Pabbly Connects workflow, you can click on this select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me, click on add a new connection, and then we simply have to click on this blue button which says connect with Salesforce. And as soon as we're going to click on this blue button which says connect with Salesforce, yes, over here you can see that Pabbly Connect is asking me for some permissions. So what we're going to do is, I'm just going to click on this allow and give Pabbly all the permissions it is asking for, because my data is secure with Pabbly. You can also click on this allow, Pabbly is safe. And as soon as we're going to click on this allow, it is saying authorization successful. With this, we have successfully connected our Salesforce account with our Pabbly Connects workflow. And now it is asking me for the details like first name, last name, and the another details. Alright, so I'm just going to fill in these details one by one so that I can add my lead details received through IndiaMART into my Salesforce account too. Alright, so I'm just going to enter the first name right over here, but we're not going to enter the name manually or by copy pasting it like this, but instead we're going to map it. So you must be wondering what is mapping. So mapping is a method by Pabbly which means inserting the data from the previous step. And as you know, our previous step was the trigger step where we selected IndiaMART as our trigger application. So we are simply going to map the details from the response of our trigger application only, and as soon as we're going to map these details, automatically my details will turn dynamic and change with every new response received. So over here, I'm just going to map the last name of my lead. All right, you can see the first name is not the required field, so I'm only going to map the last name. So I'm just going to look for sender's name in the previous response right over here, and as you can see, the sender's name is Prabhat, so I'm just going to look for it. So I'm just going to look for sender's name in the previous response, and as you can see, sender's name is Prabhat, so we're going to map it. So you must be wondering that this is not the last name, this is the first name, right? So as you can see that the last name is a required field, and we do have to fill in this in order to add the lead details into our Salesforce account. But as you can notice that I've only received the sender's name as Prabhat right over here, but the required field is last name, so that's why I've entered Prabhat in my last name. If you're using a live IndiaMART account, you're definitely going to receive the first name and the last name both of your lead, but you have to keep in mind that you can ignore this first name if you not receive it, but you have to fill in this last name because this is a required field. All right, so you're only going to fill in the details which are required right over here. If you wish, you can definitely fill out all the details. So now for the company name, I'm just going to look for company and map the sender's company. We are going to move on forward and map this sender's phone number too. So I'm just going to look for sender's phone number, and as you can see the same, so we're going to map it. We're going to move on forward. You can see that now it is asking me for many other details. We're only going to map the details which are required or the details I wish to fill in. So for the lead source, I'm just going to map it as other right over here. For the status, I'm just going to keep it as open not contacted. For the rating, let's say I'm just going to keep it as warm, and now I'm just going to map the address right over here. So I'm just going to look for address of my lead right over here, and as you can see the same, so we are simply going to map it. We're going to map the city name too, which was Noida, so I'm just going to look for city name, and as you can see the same, so we are simply going to map it. Now after mapping all of these details, we are simply going to click on this save and send test request, and as soon as we're going to click on the save and send test request, yes, you can see that we have received a positive response that we have successfully added the lead details received through our IndiaMART account into our Salesforce account. So I'm just going to open my Salesforce account and check for the details added. So I'm just going to open my Salesforce account. We're going to go towards the lead section right over here in our Salesforce account, and yes, you can see that in the recent items it is showing Prabhat. So I'm just going to open Prabhat right from here, and yes, you can see that with this we have successfully created or added the lead details into our Salesforce account which we received through our IndiaMART account. You can see exactly the same details. You can see the same name, same company, the same status, the same source. You can see the rating and the phone number is also the same. You can also notice that the address and the city right over here. So yes, with this we have successfully completed our workflow, and now what will happen is that as soon as a new lead is received through my IndiaMART account, automatically Pabbly is going to capture the response for the same and trigger this workflow. Further, it is going to add the lead details into my Salesforce account, which is create a new lead in my Salesforce account. That too without any manual efforts. This workflow is going to run in backend, and within seconds in real time, the details would be added into my Salesforce account. That too without any manual efforts. We don't have to come back and again to our workflow to click on save and send test request. So yes, this was it for the video, and if you have any questions related to the video or the workflow, you can directly comment on this video. And for your reference, I'll just clone this workflow and share the workflow link in the description box so that you can access my workflow. I hope this video was helpful for you. Thank you for watching.
So not only these applications, but with the help of Pabbly Connect, you can integrate many more applications. So if you have any doubts, you can reach us at support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can reach us at forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issues, you can follow this website. And if you find our videos helpful, do like and subscribe our channel. Thank you for watching.